My name's Davida Shinsky, and the title of this program is Live Without Limits, Reach Personal Success on a Daily Basis podcast. And we talk about mental health, we talk about relationships, we talk about lifestyle and various things that can affect you and keep you from living your fullest life possible. And in today's presentation, we are going to be talking about the four things that you should and should not say to someone with anxiety. Many of us know at least one person who is battling anxiety, if we aren't that one person already. Whenever we meet up with them, we try to do our best to give them the support that they need and remind them how much they mean to us. However, despite the good intention, some of us have found ourselves in situations where our actions or words might backfire and make things even worse. We become so confused and wish that we had not said anything at all. We get mad at the other person because it feels like they have misunderstood us or they are focusing on the wrong thing. We wish that they could keep our intention in mind and understand that we are not here to fight, but rather to support them. Sadly, because the anxious person is most likely thinking in a manner different from ours, they will probably easily feel irritated and alienated by the things that we say. Therefore, learning how to interact with those fighting anxiety is also an important skill that we need to master. This way, our loved ones know that we support them without dismissing how they are feeling. Always look at it this way. We are looking and talking to people who have a hidden disability and suffer from anxiety because it's a symptom of some type of mental illness. So there's four things not to say to someone with anxiety. Don't think about it. This is most people's go to. It invalidates the feelings of the affected person and suggests that being anxious is a choice and the individual affected can simply stop thinking about it. Sadly, that is not how things work in the real world of anxiety. You have little to no power over your thoughts, and hearing this won't help you magically clear them. I have experienced something similar. Each person's feelings and experiences are valid and should be recognized as such. When you mention your previous similar experience, you are in a way suggesting that there is an emotional competition and you have gone through something worse than what the anxious person is going through. Sharing your experiences can be helpful, but this needs to be done at the appropriate time. So when someone is sharing their feelings, listen and resist the urge to budge in and talk about your similar experience. You worry too much based on what is happening in their minds. Trust me, these people know that they worry too much. In most cases, they are also working towards worrying less. Saying this won't really help them worry less. Rather, it can do and frustrate them knowing that you think it is easy for them to do so. Other people have it worse. This might come from a place of trying to help them understand that they are in a better position than others, but it usually doesn't do a good job in making them feel better. It undermines their situation and experience and also makes them feel guilty for being anxious when things could have been worse. They might also feel like you do not properly understand the struggle. So, four things to say to someone with anxiety. What can I do to help you? Your idea of how you can help might not be the same as theirs. They might be in need of something else that you cannot offer them on your own. The best way to know what you want or what they need is to ask them. And it's the same way when you're dealing with anyone with a disability. Always ask them if you can help or do they need help. Therefore, you're not invalidating their right to feel what they feel or their right to be the person they were meant to be. In some cases, they might need you to offer advice, and in some, they simply need you to listen and nod your head. They might also want to hear how you or someone else navigated an almost similar experience. Each person's needs differ, so don't be shy to ask exactly what you can do to help them. I am here for you. Anxiety might make one feel like they are a burden. As a result, they may become hesitant to share their feelings and thoughts. Bottling them might seem like a great idea in that state. Saying this to them will serve as a reminder that should they need someone to talk to, you will be there and you will create an environment that allows them to share without being judged or anything like that. It reminds them that by sharing, they aren't bothering or burdening you. Take your time. Toxic positivity seems to be prevalent lately. Lots of people want to always be positive and negative, never want to acknowledge the existence of negative emotions. The truth is that life is not always rosy. Sometimes we go through hard times and we need not ignore these. People with anxiety might feel pre- pressured to get out of that pit quickly. If they take time to recover from anxiety, they might also feel like they are getting behind in terms of everything else. So, reminding them that they should take time and there is no rush for them to recover will calm them and allow them to recover from at their pace. I know you can't control it. Most of us think that we can always control our thoughts. When one has anxiety, this does not seem to be the case. You simply lose control. Sadly, some people around them might also subtly hint that the anxious person should control their thoughts, reminding them that you know that they aren't capable of controlling their thoughts is a great form of validation. It reminds them that you are understanding what they are going through, especially in the age where mental illness like anxiety are dismissed because they are not visible. There are treatments for anxiety. Anxiety is a dreadful thing to experience, and those who have it deserve a kindness and compassion. We need to be mindful of how we interact with those around us and create a suitable environment that helps them to get better. We all feel anxious under certain circumstances. That does not necessarily mean that you have an anxiety disorder. However, when the anxiety results in extreme distress, this gets in their ability to lead a normal life. There might be a need for assistance from professionals. There are various treatment options, such as pharmaceutical medication, support groups, and therapy that can alleviate the symptoms of anxiety when needed. These avenues should be considered without feeling guilty or shame. And many a times, what happens is we live in a society where people with disabilities are not accepted and are often ostracized. Therefore, we need to learn to accept people for who they are, whether they have a physical disability, a mental disability, or even if they have limbs missing, or they're deaf, or they're blind. The problem is that often everyone expects you to be perfect, and not only do they expect you to be perfect, but they expect you to believe in the same way they believe. And remember, all of us have a right to believe what we choose to believe, and who we are and how we see things is up to us and to no one else. And always accept people's differences.